All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Off-Air Show. We are up. I'm going to go before Jim comes in so he doesn't have to listen to the full Grateful Dead thing. I'm going to have to subject him to that. They didn't try to subject the radio audience to it either. So we'll do it here. This is why we do this. It's for crap like this. The Off-Air Show is presented by the original light beer, Miller Lite. Legendary stories in the Off-Air Show start with a light. Here's to just over 50 years of Miller time. The passing of Bob Weir, founding member of the Grateful Dead, happened over the weekend, died of cancer at 78. I did know he was sick, but you don't know. Like, you just hear these rumors, like you got friends with friends who are close to the band and you think it's reliable sources, and he certainly had faded, I think, badly on stage the last year. And I know a lot of you say he's been fading for 30 years. I get it. But for those of us who follow it and go to shows and all of that, the last year was a pretty, I think, steep decline. And so he didn't look right. He didn't sound right. There were rumors. And then I had heard that he had cancer, was battling cancer. So it wasn't a total surprise that he passed. But I got to tell you, it hit me. It hit me, Jake. Important guy for me. Important band for me. I know this sounds silly, but spent a lot of time with that band. Some of the best times I've ever had were with that band. I think seeing those shows, in my mind, is about as much fun as an adult person can have. And so I've been going to those shows since I was 17 years old. I mean, I started really listening to them and following them in 1986. My first show was June of 1987. And I've pretty much been seeing shows all the way up until my last one was the Sphere in the spring, last spring. So whatever, April maybe, whenever that was, whenever I was out there the last time. And it was really great that, and there were lulls in there in those 40 years where, I didn't go to many shows or spend a lot of time with them. And there were some lulls there. But I will say that the last 5 or so was a pretty good resurgence. I had some younger friends who really got into the band, and I think they sort of hit a stride towards the end of their real touring days with Mayer when they went on tour. And then those Sphere shows were just a fucking blast. And, I made like 3 or 4 trips out there. So, like, they're a band that I just didn't go see. We would travel to go see them. And it would, a great thing with my friends. And, again, there was just so much fun. I've been doing it for so long. So to, like, lose that's kind of a big one. And I thought I'd be ready for it, but I guess I wasn't quite, because it did kind of hit me. And it is an end of an era, just for me. I'm just talking for me, because it's just like, that's how, I don't know. I'm just thinking about me and that period of my life. I'm 56. And it was, the last 39 years, 40 years of my life. So it's a big one. We're like to claim that no one in the history of rock and roll has stood on a stage and played in front of people more than he has. And it's hard to quantify, but he's close. If he's not it, he's right there. And I'll tell you, there's no commercial act that has played. He joined, and he had met Garcia when he was 16, and they started playing soon after. So in 1964, 5, whatever year that was, 1965. Since then, that's all he did. He dropped out of high school, and since Weir was 16 at the age of 1965, all he's done is tour and play concerts. The Dead were never a big recording artist. They recorded albums, but they didn't sell a lot. They didn't make money on their albums. Yeah, that wasn't what they did. They toured and they toured and they toured and they toured and they toured. They used to, even into the late 80s, there was a spring tour, a summer tour, and a fall tour. And then in the winter, they'd play in the San Francisco area. And then when the band wasn't playing, Jerry Garcia would be on the road with his band, and Bobby would be on the road with his band. And he basically did that from the age of 16. And when Garcia died, he kept doing it. So if there's another commercial act or artist that has played more live music than Bob Weir, you got to tell me who it is. I think the only people who might, compete with him for that is like a old blues artist that I just don't know of, where the old blues artist played 6 nights a week at a club in St. Louis and did it for 60 straight years. You know what I mean? And I don't know who that person is, but someone like that, that's the only person I think you could say is even close to the amount of time Bob Weir spent on stage. So I think he's got that right. And what can I tell you? I hope they keep it going. And I'm not ashamed to say that towards the end here, when I think Weir got bad, and Weir bugged the shit out of me. A lot of the stuff that he did bugged me. He insisted on playing Jerry songs, singing them, and he has no business singing Garcia songs. He just has a whole different delivery and approach to singing. It doesn't work with Garcia songs, but he felt the need to do it because he was super sensitive about it becoming the John Mayer show. He never wanted it to become the John Mayer show, and I think those two sort of butted heads a little bit on that, which I think is I resented Weir for. It's like, let Mayer do his fucking thing. He's really good. And it sounds right when he does it. And he should be doing it. And you just play your songs and play rhythm. And he plays lead and he plays Jerry's songs. And just do that fucking thing. But Weir couldn't bring himself to do it because he didn't want it to become the John Mayer show. Okay? Oh, are we still up as I'm prattling on here for 10 minutes? Okay. So what am I saying here? Oh, so I used to say down the last year or so that the Dead and Company will really hit its stride again when Weir retires or Weir passes away. And I think they have a chance to be a killer band without Weir because Weir was bringing him down, no question about it. Well, now he's gone. So
Did I miss the Bob Weir portion of the program?
I did you a favor, and I started 5 minutes early, and I've done my eulogy, so you didn't have to listen to it.
I actually had a question about him.
Well, so I'll just finish up and say, so what's next? I hope that they keep it going with Mayer. I hope that Mayer assumes the role that he should have been in from the start, and that is singing Garcia's songs, playing his catalog, and being the Garcia figure in the band, even though he's obviously a totally different guy with a totally different vibe and a totally different stage presence. That boy can play, and his voice is excellent, and he's a professional musician. He knows the words and how to, he does it justice. So Den and Company should continue. Mayer should rightfully be the fucking star of the show. There's no longer weird to, sit there groveling about who's singing what song and who's the center of the attention. It's Mayer. For the rhythm guitar player, Joe Blow. I don't need anyone fancy. There's a lot of candidates that people talk about, Sturgill Simpson.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so people talk about Sturgill being the guy. They talk about Billy Strings.
Oh, it's funny. I was just talking about this guy earlier today. That's usually not my genre of music. That dude's a monster.
Okay, so
he's better than a rhythm guitar player.
That's what I'm saying. So there's some monster guitar players out there. Billy Strings, Sturgill, maybe the guys that play in J-Rad right now. Or like even people talk about like Dave Matthews. Fuck off with Dave Matthews. If Dave Matthews comes into the band, I'm out. Like I literally won't see it.
Playing in the band.
They don't need another star guitarist. They have it.
Right. Just have a session guy do it.
What you need is a standard Joe Blow rhythm guitarist who's just going to play the rhythm. And if you want a guy who can sing a little bit and play some of the Bobby songs and take some load off of Mayer and sing Bobby songs, fine. But I don't need another Trey Anastasia. I don't need another guitar virtuoso in there. You have one. Rhythm guy, maybe a guy with a little bit of a deeper voice, invoke some of that old weird stuff and be that guy. Fine. I hope they do it. I don't know if they will. We've heard very little from Mayer since he died, which was odd. It took him 2 days to post anything. And this is the final thing I'll say on it. I came up with a conspiracy theory on that. Or just like, I think I kind of figured out what the fuck was going on there.
That he never really liked him.
Well, they butted heads. And I was saying before that Weir was always so sensitive to it becoming the John Mayer show. He never wanted to become the John Mayer show. Weir wanted to remain the heart and soul of the band, the inspiration of the band, the leader of the band. So Weir took it on himself to sing all these Jerry songs, including the Jerry ballads, which made no fucking sense. Bob Weir singing Wharf Rat or what's the other one? What am I thinking? Black Peter. Bob Weir singing Black Peter or Wharf Rat or Knocking on Heaven's Door or Morning Dew. It bugged the shit out of me that Weir felt the need to do that. But he wanted to do it because he didn't want to cede the spotlight to Mayer. Now that should be over. He should take it. But, even in death. So it took Mayer 2 days to post anything. And I was like,
that's odd. People usually post within an hour of.
Because I'll tell you, when they stopped touring 2 years ago, Mayer wrote this wonderful thing about the dead and the greatest American songbook, and it was heartfelt. And it was great. And Bob died, and it took him 2 days. And he finally wrote, maybe yesterday or the day before, okay, Bob, I'll do it your way. Fucking A, thanks for letting me ride alongside you. It sure was a pleasure. If you say it's not the end, then I'll believe you. I'll meet you in the music. Come find me anytime, John Boy.
That first line's real snarky. Okay,
Bob, I'll do it your way. So you know what I came up with, what I think is, they knew Weir was dying. And they told John, when he passes, don't say anything. Don't write any flowery, big eulogy. Don't write anything that's going to grab attention. Just stand back for a minute. And you know why I think, my theory, even in fucking death, even from beyond the grave, Weir did not want Mayer stealing the spotlight.
Oh.
That if Mayer wrote something, and Mayer can write, he's a good writer, and he can write heartfelt stuff. He's written great stuff about the Grateful Dead. And if he wrote something big and powerful and grabbed a lot of attention,
it would overshadow.
It'd take attention away from Weir. And I think that Weir and his people were like, John, one last time, we're going to make it about Bob and not about you.
I buy that.
Okay, so that's just my theory, because it makes no sense that it took Mayer so long and it was such a brief note. I'm done. Go ahead.
Well, I had one question. What was with the nut huggers all those years?
So Bobby went through a little gay phase. And I don't know if he was, and I say that I don't mean to be derogatory in any way, shape, or form. I do wonder if he messed around with his sexuality a little bit.
Oh. So it wasn't just a I'm hot on stage thing, like he's trying to show a little meat?
Hard to know.
Huh.
Hard to know, because he got, there was some phases where he got a little effeminate, played a bright pink guitar. It was a fucking blast. I loved it. Like, all of a sudden, he comes out with this pink-ass guitar. And he loved wearing Daisy Dukes.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Oh, yeah. No, they were
cut off.
They were real up there.
Daisy Duke shorts. He would prance around. And he just, you know. So whether he was exploring some stuff or just that's how he was styling or whatever, who knows?
We talked about it the other day off the air, because you would finally watch the documentary about Charlie Sheen on Netflix. And I've long held a theory, which I think is proven in that Charlie Sheen documentary, that these big, rich, famous guys, especially musicians, actors, when you do everyone, what else is there to do? Let's just start trying to do some different shit.
It's a fair point. This is the stage was really the late 80s. And by that point, they had hit it with Touch of Grey and were playing stadiums and were really hit. And he was a good-looking guy.
Yeah.
And the only good-looking guy. You know, the rest of them are
yeah, right.
You know, drug-addled hippopotamuses. And so Weir probably just got ass like you read about. Women like you read about. And so, I don't know, maybe you
get bored.
Hit that thing. It's like, all right.
You know,
what did Sheen say? That we try the other side of the menu?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's, if you read some of the stuff, again, who knows, but I tend to believe that when Bowie and Mick Jagger, I mean, think of everyone that they did for, decades, and they start collaborating a little bit, and next thing you know, the collaborating leads to a couple of drinks starts leading to a makeout session, and the next thing you know, it's Pound Town. So, yeah, I'd buy that with any musician or actor or anything like that.
Mark Norton says he just called him Bobby after I go through my long thing on the air about
gotcha, got his ass.
Okay, wait a minute. I'm talking about athletes and people you cover. You're allowed to say Jerry and Bobby. Come on.
Got his ass.
You got me.
Very good.
I think you're allowed to do it, though. It's different. Isn't it different?
Yeah, it's your best friends in the Grateful Dead.
Hypocrite. All right, fine. You got me.
All right, let's go to the Jacob Seymour email. Jake Seymour always doing a fine job producing the show. Is the sound okay to all you people out there?
The sound is, it's not good. You got to blast it. But I promise you, the board right now, we are redlining, and there's a blue thing that says overload. So I have you guys jacked all the way up. I jacked up on the software.
It's not,
I'm sorry.
As you know by now, it's part of the show. It just doesn't sound right.
Just bring the volume up a little bit, all the way.
You out there, bring the volume up.
We checked off the what is your reaction to Bob Weir's passing. Favorite NFL postseason memory?
Such a Jesus. So, I mean, you're asking me? Desmond Howard taking that kickoff return and shoving it right up your ass in 96. Or Favre, completing one of those early balls at Desmond Howard. Or, it wasn't Desmond Howard. It was Andre Rison caught that first touchdown.
Oh, right,
in that
yeah,
96
yeah.
game.
Favre takes his helmet off. I mean, Vinatieri's kick going through an 0-1 for me. I never thought that they were going to end up winning that Super Bowl.
The Vinatieri kick would be my Patriots
Yeah.
moment. I'll never forget. I still remember. I say it all the time. Being there at that game, sitting up in that press box. When they ran Vinatieri out, I said to myself, what the fuck are they doing? There's no way.
Yeah.
Like, this is preposterous. There's 4 inches of snow. The clock's running. They can't even brush the thing off properly. Like, why are you doing it? Oh, he made it.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I remember. Like, I started to rag on him for even trying it in the first place. Like, what are you doing?
Jake asks, Jim, how was the game day off? Did you do anything fun? Jake, once, so we had a short show, Gasper and I, last Saturday, which finished at 12:30. Then I went for my jog around the lake, and I ran some errands, and I went home, and I never left. If the robe was on, it was robe and football from probably 3 in the afternoon on Saturday through 11 p.m. on Sunday night. It was glorious.
People are asking me to tell the Kevin Gamble story. No.
That bad, huh?
It's just not appropriate.
Ah, all right.
What's next?
Jake asks, how many holes does a straw have? 1 or 2? Well, this would be good for 5 questions when that returns.
No, it's not. No, I don't like when you put these questions on there. This is not no.
I think a straw
This
has
is
2.
one of these stupid internet like brain teaser. No, fuck off. No, I hate the question.
I think a straw's got 2 holes. How about that?
Me too.
2 holes.
Get ready for more of
2
these in
sides.
2026.
Get ready for what?
More of these in 2026.
I like them, Jake.
Makes it good for social media, Felger.
I don't get offended
I
about
hate him. Murray, one more Uncle Picos, please.
Oh, yeah. So you mentioned someone emailed. There's certain things from childhood. That's one of those cartoons from childhood, which that probably came out in the 60s, and Tom and Jerry was repeated all the time in the early 80s. I was probably 6 when I saw that. I just turned 49. That bit has been burned in my brain since I was 6 years old.
And did you just let it out today? Had you not had any other outlet for it?
No, I always think about it every once in a while. Like you might hear, like one of the first songs you can learn on guitar is "Froggy Wintercortin." It's only like 5 songs, so that's what that is. And so Uncle Picos is Jerry the mouse. His uncle shows up, and he's got a cowboy hat on and a big white mustache.
I have a vague recollection of this now. Go ahead.
And every time he's like, I can't play without a guitar string, because he'd be playing the song. Well, let's keep that beat up, you. He didn't run. Bling, the thing would break. And then throughout the episode, Tom, the cat, who he keeps stealing one of his whiskers as a guitar string, starts to freak out because he would hear the guitar break and be like, and freak out because he'd start chasing after him. And he's like, now get over here. I can't play without a guitar string. This thing's been baked in my brain for 40 plus years. So I figured this was a good opportunity with them playing the Texans. I was like, all right, I'll do my shitty version of this for the game today.
It was really, I'd say tremendous or horrible.
Or too wacky.
The same thing. Who's a better guitar player, Jim? John Mayer or David Gilmour?
Oh, I don't like getting into these kind of things. Like, I mean, my favorite of all time is Eddie Van Halen, but I just have a Van Halen obsession more than anything like that. And that's more technical. Probably John, if you want to get into the technical part of it, probably John Mayer, I would think.
Yes, but Gilmour was cooler.
Yeah. Gilmour had more iconic sounds and riffs.
Yeah.
Just the arpeggio to the beginning of Shine On You Crazy Diamond, which is so 5 notes. Like, you hear it, and a chill goes down your spine if you really like Pink Floyd in that song, and I feel like most people do. And that's as simple gets. It's 5 notes, but it's one of the most iconic openings to a song in rock history. So it's what you're into. But if you want to get into if you want to base it on technicality, John Mayer. I'm probably not even close.
What about Jimi Hendrix?
So I wasn't a huge Hendrix guy.
I'm not a big Hendrix guy.
And I'll tell you why. And it's a little bit why I'm not into Eddie Van Halen as much. It's like it was just a little too manic, a little too, and this is, you tell me if this just sounds stupid, but down on the fret. So when they're here on the fret and they're noodling right here, it's like,
yeah, the notes are higher. And
I like the lead guitars that play up here. I think
mid neck.
I think it's like, it feels to me like it's harder. I like the sound more. I like you can get a little more twangy up here. I just think when you're done,
too noodly.
I'm not saying it's easy. It's just not the sound that
There's
that
less
I like.
room to work with down there with your fingers, especially if you have kind of fat fingers like I do. So I think it's probably technically more difficult to be down there, but it's noodly. It's not for me. Some of those guys it's a bit much.
And I don't care about setting the fucking thing on fire and playing it with my tongue behind my head. Who cares?
A lot of Hendrix was theatrics. I don't love a lot of those songs. Purple, again, I respect it. It's just some of his music's just not for me. People that always say like Hendrix best guitarist ever, I think fine, but, it's all subjective, but not to me. I wouldn't even probably put him in top 10.
As I scroll, I have to go backwards now because I talked for so long.
What's with this Verizon breakdown, Jake? What do you got?
Yes, so Verizon right now is experiencing a major outage on all of its services for terms of phones.
Are we looking at like 5 hours now?
Yeah, it's been like this for most of the afternoon, if not the entire afternoon. It's been so bad that Kevin Majori, associate producer at Felger Maz, you know how when we sign in on the computers for work, you get the call and you got to like verify that you're signing in.
Yeah.
Kevin is not receiving any calls and Skaz isn't either. So I've had to give them my login information so they can log in on mine because for some reason I have Verizon, but I'm getting phone calls. I don't know why. I've been getting it all day. And then they have to sign in and then I get the code and I give them the code so they can sign in and use the computer at the station. It's completely been a train wreck for...
It seems a bit of a nightmare.
Yeah, it's been a big train wreck for everybody today.
Christopher says, Felger, do you have the balls to say the Grateful Dead were better than the Beatles? They weren't better than the Beatles. They weren't better than a lot of bands. It's not about like being good. It's about what reaches you and hits you and
again, music's subjective.
What you relate to. And the shows themselves, for my money, for my experience, were about as much fun as I ever had. And about as much fun as an adult can have is...
I went to one and I had a blast, and they sucked the time I saw them. I went to that Highgate, Vermont show that I mentioned
before.
before.
Did suck that day I was there.
Yeah, I mean, they're not, like, I respect them. It's funny, there's songs I'll occasionally hear that I forget are them that I do like. Like, I don't go out of my way to listen to them, but if I do hear them, like, I don't know, I respect what they meant in the canon of American music and American rock over the last 50, 60 years, but they bumped out on one of those football games the other night with playing
they
the
played
band.
So what was
and
fun
I was like, oh shit, I remember this song, I like this one.
Is that when the news hit Saturday night, the football game that night had all sorts of Dead songs going into break, and then the next day during the pregame shows there was a lot of Dead being played on Saturday, Sunday. That was nice.
The guy or gal or whoever is doing it for Sunday Night Football, I respect the hell out of it because you can tell they're a real nerd. So, music nerd. And I mean that in the most respectful manner. So, it's the Pats game here. It's home. Usually they tend to play more of the music of the home team. And rather than every bump out being the fucking drop kicks or, Aerosmith or whatever, the other night, I even tweeted about it. I was like, okay, hat tip. Do you remember the Lemonheads?
Sure.
Evan Dando, who still I think lives in Martha's Vineyard, whatever. One of their sort of hits was If I Could Talk, I'd Tell You, and they bumped out with that, and I was like, okay, hat tip there. That's a little deep cut. Someone likes a little like Boston alt music from the early to mid 90s. I like that kind of crap.
Felger, one drummer dead or two drummer dead? Two drummers is important. Felger, a Fish fan as well. No. And I'm not going to disparage him like Murray wants to.
No, I'll give you this. So I hate Fish, and I think they're awful. But
do you really think they're awful?
Yeah, and I've seen them. And it might be more about their fans. It's all.
So this is another thing. Like, don't fucking worry about the fans. Fuck the fans. Like, I'm not in it for like
half of them are my friends that I've had to go to these shows with.
But the Spinners or everyone disparages Deadheads and Dead fans. Fuck them. Who cares? Are you there to see the band? I'm not there for the fucking Deadheads or any of that. I ignore them. I can ignore. I can be in a room of 20 people and ignore all of them. I can be in a room of 20,000.
That's a skill.
And ignore all of them. I'm not responsible for who goes to the shows, and I wouldn't make Fish responsible for who goes to their shows or any of that. I'm here. I don't sit there and talk and socialize and fuck around. I go there and it's this.
This might be your best attribute as a human being because my baseline is bothered. So and you can do this.
I shut it out.
Yeah, I can't do it.
I shut it out.
Now all this said, I'm no Fish fan. I don't know if you saw what they did on New Year's. I think it was at Madison Square Garden.
They're always at Madison Square Garden.
Yeah. So I was like, this is actually kind of funny. For those that don't know, apparently the theme of their night was dairy. So every song that they played, including covers, had something to do with milk or dairy. They covered, I think they closed the night with Khalees, My Milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. Like every song was, so they did Prince Cream
So this is what I don't like about
and everyone was
Fish.
dressed as a milkman or a milk carton or an ice cream cone. Like it's so ridiculous that I kind of respect it.
So that's the part that I don't. It's like I think they're kitschy or corny. Their song, the Dead, whether you fucking like them or not, have some big iconic sing-along stadium songs that everyone knows the words to, and Mayer called it the greatest American songbook in rock, and I agree with them. I mean, they've got lyrics and songs and anthems and sing-alongs, and like I'm into that, and I kind of want to know the music. So part of the reason I never really got into Fish is because I got to learn the whole catalog, and I just don't have the time at this point in my life. I don't have the time to learn a whole new band. It's enough for me to learn Pearl Jam's catalog. I want to know the catalog. And this is why I want to go to the shows. I want to hear the whole catalog.
No.
Don't just play the fucking hits. I actually don't need to hear a single hit because I've heard them on the radio. So I'm just, you know, the guys that just play the hits. I'm just the opposite. I don't want to hear the hits unless you suck. Like when I if I went to see Bon Jovi, then I'd say play the hits because you suck. And that's the only thing that could possibly get me to sit there and listen to you. But these other bands that have huge catalogs, I don't want to hear your hits. But with Fish, it's like I can't access their music. I don't know what their songs are. Their songs are goofy as fuck. Like the lyrics. You ever listen to the lyrics? It's like listen to kids talk about Dungeons and Dragons or something. Like there's just weirdness. I can't get a grip on their lyrics. And then they'll just do goofy shit like that. We'll play a whole night of Milk songs. It's like I don't. The musicianship is great in Fish. I take nothing away from them in terms of that. The songs themselves.
Too goofy.
It gets a little too goofy.
Did you see this story? I saw that a lot of like hardcore, Big J journalists, sports people were pissy about this. The woman who spent Sunday after the Jags lost to the Bills in the wild card round, she talked to Liam Cohen almost like a grandma.
I heard it.
Were you bothered by it?
So it was so over the top. It's like I just dismissed it because it's not like I believe me. I think a huge problem is how the game has changed and the coverage of teams is just. It feels like the days of guys going to cover a team to challenge the team or keep the team honest or actually find out what the fuck is going on is over. None of these kids that go and cover these teams are looking to do any of those things. And it's all just to sort of cheerlead and defend and be part of the thing. So I'm far more triggered by a Bruins writer asking about Marshy or Berge or Luch, you know, that whole thing, like they're Monty, like they're part of the team, than I am by this gal in Jacksonville, which is so over the top that it's just ridiculous and like, okay, like
it didn't. But I would never do it. You know, I would not try to console a coach who just lost a game like he lost a family member. But I wasn't that bothered by it. But boy, some of the outcry online, jeez.
But you know, so like and that is like the natural progression of the thing. But I'm more like, so yeah, like it's ridiculous. But I'm just more aggravated by the slow creep of how these teams are covered, and it's I think you suffer. You know, I know you want. A lot of you don't want to hear shit about your teams, but it's much more interest for me anyway. I just speak for myself. I'm much more interested in hearing coverage from someone who's looking to keep a team honest, ask hard questions, find out what the fuck is going on, even if that means the team's gonna get pissed at them. Like those are the guys and the women that cover these teams and write about these teams that I want to follow, and it's dying, if not totally dead. Go ahead.
What else the people got?
That's it. We gave them half an hour. 20 minutes on it was on the Grateful Dead. Sorry if that's not your thing, but that's what that's what people do on the internet, right? They just sit back for 30 minutes and prattle on about shit you don't care about. So there's that.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what it's here for. And it's sponsored by Miller Lite.
Yeah, I forgot.
50 years
Thanks
of Miller Lite.
One more thing, too.
Go ahead, Jake.
The Off-Air Show is officially on the Felger podcast feed. So, obviously, everyone who just listened just heard the whole episode. But if you ever miss an episode and you want to just listen to the audio version, which will be fixed in post-production, you can then go to the Felger.
How do we fix it?
Oh,
take out swear words
you
and
can.
stuff?
No. I meant like fix the levels. Like I'll go in and make sure
see.
the levels are appropriate, so you don't listen on full blast.
Can I still swear? Can we still
Oh
swear?
yeah, no, we can still swear.
Okay,
yeah,
good.
No issue with that.
All right.
Well, that's good.
But yeah, you can now listen on the Felger just like you would with each hour of the show. go to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever, and you can listen to the Off-Air Show.
There you have it.
Good, because every once in a while I still get the email. I don't know where to find it.
Find it. It sounds bad. Listen, this is what it is. But thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you next Wednesday. Goodbye.
Bye.